Alright, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the broadcast here. Dota Pit League action coming at you, season number 5, and we have the American Qualifiers taking place. 4 teams from the American region here going at it. One will be going to the Dota Pit land, of course, happening later on, I believe, into next year, I believe, in the month of January there. So really looking forward to this one here. I am Breaky CPK, and I am joined by my co-caster today, known as CC and C. I'm going to call him Quinn, I believe. It's just a little easier there. How's it going, man?
5 seconds remaining.
Red and white, I guess you would say. It just doesn't roll off the tongue as well, though. Boys in blue, so. But yeah, we got Evil Geniuses, Complexity. I mean, on paper, it just feels like when you look at just esports as a whole, like these two organizations, very, very popular for good reason, very good in general. Really excited for that reason. Now, when we look at the Dota 2 version, I think it's safe to say Evil Geniuses are the favorite here, correct?
EG's turn to pick.
Yeah, in fact, that's actually good. I believe that was even yesterday. They played against Complexity and they won that series 2-0. It was a fairly easier series, it felt like, for them. So, yeah, no doubt the favorites. But anyone that knows me, of course, in my history, my background, I love Complexity Gaming, Swinamelons, and Z-Freak. I do have history with these players here. I'm not going to be a bias caster. I'm going to do my best not to be a bias caster, of course. But I'm looking forward to seeing how they match up here today. And you could argue, of course, a little more serious of an event. A large prize pool on the line and that spot for the land. Anyways, we got this draft underway here, you could say. And, you know, look at those 2 bans from Evil Geniuses. Those are not bans you have against every team, but I think Complexity is one of these teams you're going to ban both a Leshrac and a Warlock against. How about that?
Admiral
Complexity's turn to pick.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm kind of a numbers guy as well. I'm known to Haas by any means, but I'm a little bit of a numbers guy. I do use the Dota Buff site, a little bit of research to kind of help prepare here. And I was looking at Leshrac. They actually have picked him 7 times within the last couple of weeks here, and he's 6-1 with them. So again, it kind of goes back to being a very comfortable hero for the team that is Complexity, at least. Now, I noticed that Batrider pick coming out there real quickly. Speaking of something else that's really interesting, that was another hero that kind of stood out to me when it came to the stats, because Complexity, they've banned this hero 21 times. Insanely more than any other hero. They've only picked him up once, actually, themselves. But they're going to run with it here, that with the Kunkka so far. So we'll see how it works for them. But what do you think about the Batrider?
League's assassin. Complexity's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
How about that Nyx pick up to go with the coL? I'll talk about losing your mana. That's definitely a possibility here. But Nyx, I love to see in, you know, aggressive hands, and I'm sure Evil Genius is going to be running it that way, of course. But that, you know, with the ability to relocate as well, or recall, excuse me, on top of that. They don't got a Wisp here, but could be pretty powerful. Could be fun to watch here. But Nyx, what do you think?
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Complexity's turn to ban. EG's turn to ban.
Mm-hmm.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
So we see the bans to follow. I gotta say, I always do a little cheer on the inside whenever I see a Naga ban. It's just one of those heroes that, I mean, do you feel kind of the same way? Is Naga just not the entertaining of a hero, you think? Yeah.
Should have seen that one coming.
Complexities turn to pick.
Yeah. A couple support options taken out there from EG. You got the Shadow Demon as well as, of course, the Oracle to go with that. So, ooh, Lena pick coming out for Complexity. Another kind of not your everyday hero, but thoughts?
Life stealer.
Complexities turn to pick.
Mm-hmm.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
What would be that something? You think just more physical presence in the end, or what?
Reserve time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was quite the snap pick too by Crit right there, taking that life stealer. So now Complexity really thinking about this. Melon's, of course, the captain, putting some extra thought into this drafting. You know, I was having a conversation with some viewers of mine earlier on today, kind of about Complexity in general and the drafting of Swindle and how, you know, from even his previous history and how it's kind of translated into the Dota scene. It really seems like he's all about these objective-based kind of team fight lineups in general. That's why the Leshrac, the Warlock, seems like they happen to be popular picks for them, especially the Leshrac compared to maybe other teams. So I'm kind of wondering if we're going to see something similar here, or if maybe knowing that they're going up such a great team in EG, if maybe they'll change it up right here. But they do go Slark actually with their 4th pick, so perhaps a little bit different than expected. But is that solid pick against a Lifestealer or no?
Seconds remaining. Reserve time. Complexities turn to ban.
Ooh, Rubik coming out, being the support options. Any obvious abilities here that they went the Rubik for, or just support that they liked?
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining. EG's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Reserve time.
Yeah, something else I've been thinking about too. I mean, one thing you could say Complexity has, you know, quote unquote an advantage on is the fact that they have been playing a little bit more. You got these top echelon teams. You got Evil Geniuses, DC Wings Gaming, of course. They haven't played a whole lot post TI6, post what they did there at TI6. So Evil Genius is definitely fitting under that umbrella. We mentioned they happened to play yesterday against Complexity, but in an event that is known for being a little bit more on the fun side, obviously with the way it drafts and everything, not necessarily your serious tournament matchup. So I'm not saying that's gonna boost Complexity ahead right here, but that is something to keep in mind, that EG's basically been off for a little bit here as far as tournament play. But safe to say, with their experience and where they come from, I don't know if that's necessarily gonna affect them that much here. I don't think a Razor Band.
Complexity's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Templar Assassin.
Ooh. All right. Well, physical there. I mean, you sound a little hesitant on the TA. Whereas, yeah.
Remaining.
Yeah. Here we go. Again, this is game number 1, best of 3 here. 1 of 2 best of 3s today. Of course, NP versus Team Freedom going to be taking place later on today, but gotta get through this series first, and I'm not complaining about that. We'll love to see it go the distance, especially being that's what I'll be biased for. But obviously, again, EG, the favorite. You feel like either team drafted, if you're not looking at the teams of EG versus Complexity, do you think either one necessarily drafted better here? A little more confident, perhaps?
Seconds to battle.
Sumail Invoker, it seems like chat's liking that one. Definitely kind of another fan favorite combo. Of course, Invoker in general in good hands is obviously a lot of fun to watch. Bottom room, a little bit of contention here, but seems like Evil Geniuses, they will protect it and get that to Sumail. Speaking of him, Bat Rider going to pick up the top rune actually here. So it looks like Z-Freak going to start up here at the top with that Bat Rider. See how that works for them. You got Crit hanging off to the side. The early Sentry Ward also placed on top of that, so and some presence here in the lane. But yeah, they don't know Rubik's here. Got that lift ready to go. Could they maybe get a level 1 kill, or they're going to have to wait, you think? Oh, they're going to go for it, actually. There's a lift in the air, pushing back as the burst comes out with the Illuminate, but he should be fine. Open wounds is up. Yeah, he's good. A lot of pressure, though. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a victory in itself, right? Not getting the first blood, but forcing all that region you're mentioning, just putting the pressure on. That's what they're banking on. So the decision here clearly paying off for EG already from the beginning, but very early, not to get too caught up here. But so this goes to complexity now. You mentioned the roaming Z-Freak on that Conka, loves to do this. Should he be coming bottom, you think? Could that actually make it a contestation here for complexity, or is it just not worth it? Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense there. Again, you see JK, though, at the bottom right here. He is not having a good time. Only 3, understandable, though, because of the presence. Really just needs to be careful not to die, and as I say, the Sakata coming from the side, but there's the quick bounce, and again, he'll continue to be fine. How about this middle matchup? We do have Samel on the Invoker versus cancel on that TA right here. Looks like Samel going pretty aggressive, actually. Gonna get the cold snaps out. The minion doing plenty of damage. Not gonna be enough for the kill initially right there, and I don't think it's gonna happen in the end, although the chase is on. Oh, the Sunstrike! Oh my god, it did not hit, and actually TA gets credit for the kill on the Invoker. Oh, that was silly.
Roasted, toasted, and burned to a crisp. Had to happen all.
Yeah. Well, I caught the top lane action, too. Speaking of that, it ended up being a 1-for-1 up here, actually. They ended up diving, killing the Nyx. However, good job by Crit, at least, turning on a Bat Rider and getting him taken out. They still believe that Kunkka's up here, but he's been gone. He actually ported out. He did have enough mana and everything, so he's been gone out of there for a while now, but ended up being, again, they got the Nyx kill first. I still think Complexity pretty satisfied with the overall situation right there, especially getting that first blood on the TA, who's now going to go for that top bounty rune and a 4-minute rune coming up on top of that. So, yeah, the start looking a little solid here for Complexity as far as the early game goes, but still plenty left. Oh, this top rune could be action. Crit thinks it's a free rune. It ain't one, though. He lifts him up. Z-Freak is here as well. There's the combination with the Torrent. Is this going to be a kill? Crit on the run. Happened to be a haste rune. Oh, boy. That was a perfect rune right there. And he gets away. Classic haste. 4-minute haste rune coming through. So Crit, those skills will allow him to survive right there and be fine.
Denied.
How is this bottom lane continuing to work, though? 17-4 Nyx. Yeah, looking good. Is he looking to basically get the infested up into Nyx, excuse me, and now I'm not confusing the two. Nyx into Nyx as far as using that infest bomb. Is that going to be the combo we're looking for, probably? Yeah, and you see, obviously, Swindle Mountain's getting himself killed to the neutral right there on purpose. Combo coming out. Samel did not expect this from the Lina being here, and Cancel will help assist for the kill. The Sunstrike ain't gonna do a damn thing. TA right there, well played. Gets credit, but that was all really Melon's porting in, catching him off guard, and throwing out that Dragon Slave of his to secure that kill in the end. So, well played, and Samel may have cursed him a little bit, being with the fans excited and everything like that. All of a sudden, he's 0-2 here to start. So, I think he can recover, but not the prettiest of starts, though. But that means it's TA, though. Cancel's probably looking very good as far as his net worth going over to that. He happens to be top of the game right now. How much is snowballing TA? Like, how impactful do you feel like? Actually, Swindlemountain's in trouble here. Hold on, stop for a second. I think he's dead. Open wounds comes out. Sunstrike, not even necessary. So yeah, back to the TA point, though. Is this going to be scary for EG, you feel like, as far as TA getting a good start? Yeah. Yeah, open up the game essentially for Slark makes sense. And speaking of Slark, what is this down here? Nake's actually diving pretty deep. It's going to walk it off, though, despite Lena 40 in. Not even using that rage right there. Not necessary, so walks away. Double damage run has been down here, meanwhile, at the bottom rune spot since the 6-minute mark, I believe. We'll see if which team eventually gets around to picking that up. Oh, Nyx is down here. That's the Nyx assassin that is. Opens up with a vendetta. And the Sunstrike just securing the kill, because why not? And hey, a little bit of extra farm for Samil right there. So that's going to be that combo coming out. The Nyx setting up into the Sunstrike. It really is a lot of intense damage, obviously. So it's not much you can do about it if you're these squishy supports, especially in this game right now. So. Middle lane. Ooh, look like they're trying to set up on a TA right there, but ain't gonna happen. A little bit too quick to react, and we'll be fine as a result. Obviously, killing TA is probably on the higher priority list right now for EG. A haste rune could help with that. That's gonna be picked up by Universe right there. They're going bottom lane. They're diving JK. You see Lifestealer looking for him right now. Oh, Slark, though, he's hiding. He's got that passive kicking in from the Shadow Dance, so he'll be fine, actually. Unable to find him. Good job getting away. But now middle lane, they're the ones in trouble. TA kind of going in, as well as Kunkka comboing down Samel. In the background, though, the flank. They need to be careful about this. Samel puts out the Sunstrike, says I might as well do something. I'm going to die right here. He does. Gets a little bit of damage out. Will fall, though. Z-Freak gets pulled back in. Not going to be enough. TA still going mammo, though. And Crit the one, taking some good damage right here. Push back from the flame break. Is it enough follow-up damage? It absolutely is. Batrider secures the kill. And now Nyx Assassin trying to get a turn himself. Impale comes out. They do kill the TA, so they make him pay right there. Going a little too deep, and it ends in a 2-for-1. In favor, though, of Complexity. Number-wise, at least. Oh, it was, yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'm actually curious on your thoughts on this here, because I've happened to notice this a couple of times recently. As are we gonna see something bottom lane? No, Lena being here, it's gonna be a little scary. But actually, Lifestealer's running in. There's a vendetta, so maybe we are actually. Who are they gonna go for? They're gonna go for the easy target of Swindle Melons. The open easy kill. Mana burn of JK. Still a bit of pounce though, but they know he's somewhere in here. He does not. He does have a TP, not enough mana. Is not going to be able to use it, but he'll be fine as move ports in, and that'll scare off the rest of EG. So, but that kind of leads into what I wanted to bring up here. Drums finished on Batrider, you know, so not making a point to, you know, maybe rush that Blink Dagger here. Does that make sense to you? Just get the early drums instead? I gotta say, this Slark, man, he is just really slippery. I know the theme of the hero kind of fits that too, but holy crap, Justin just keeps juking through these trees down here. They've dived him so many times, I feel like. They cannot just catch up to him. And the fact that he has 0 deaths, I honestly think is almost a little bit surprising, right? I mean, how do you feel? Because they were trialing down here. They've been trying to kill him. Is that that's like a good job, right, for Justin, even though he's not getting the greatest farm? As Invoker takes Alina, it looks like here. The top lane, but
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Bat Rider setting himself on the uphill over here. Has that flame break. Even the Firefly even ready to go. It does have the flame break too, but Firefly ready to activate if he finds the opportunity. And oh, Courier flying right past him. You see Pink's coming out, so might have actually spotted that. The X marks the spot. They're gonna pull in this crit right here on that Rubik, and there's really not much chance for him to survive through this. Dragon Slave, everything coming out, and easy enough for the kill. So well played as they collapse in the middle lane. The only one out here, of course, is that Slark at the bottom lane who's busy dealing with the Lifestealer. Is going to get the middle tower, though, and Lifestealer, of course, will be fine as he continues to be. So nice objectives here by Complexity. Wow, it took a while to get that tower kill, the fortification kicking in, but finally getting there's the Blink Dagger now on a TA.
Dire's middle tower
Big item
is
pick
under
up.
attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, JK, finally! I mean, you bang on a door so many times, so somebody's finally gonna answer it. Basically what happened right there is something. Anyways, Justin goes down. They do take out crit in return, so it ends up being a 1-for-1, but still a favorite target, of course, for Evil Geniuses. So yeah, they kept on rinse and repeating down here, but now you got the Armlet, of course, onto Lifestealer. Middle lane, meanwhile, Invoker takes the boat to the face right there, and he is going to be taken out as TA with a newly purchased Blink Dagger for him, closes the gap, and secures the kill onto Invoker. Is that 4 deaths now? Yeah, he is 4 deaths on that Invoker. I mean, he's 3-4-1. It's not the worst stat line ever, but he's having trouble staying alive this game, safe to say, for EG. But yeah, good kill on the JK bottom lane, though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is falling.
Now, speaking of getting killed, Moo, he's going to follow that trend right here. He gets taken out the open wounds initiation and had the follow-up to secure that right there. Z-Freak putting the pullback onto Lifestealer. As meanwhile, Slark got picked up at the bottom lane while there's interaction going on at the top lane. So, how about that? Nyx's Assassin takes out the Slark. Probably some assistance from Invoker out of Stu, but we're not done over here just yet. Lina putting this person in Crit, but Crit puts it right back into his face with the Laguna Blade right there. Well played by Crit, steals it, and throws it right back at him. RTC, meanwhile, trying to stay alive here at the top lane. He's not only going to stay alive, in fact, he's done damage now. Turning onto Templar. There goes the Sunstrike and cancel. Oh, he's going to sit there with the melt. It ain't going to be enough, though. They know exactly where he is, of course, and they do still take him out. So Evil Geniuses, big fight for them here at the top lane. And that's one of those kind of, you know, setting the mood of the game right here fights. 2-for-1 exchange, I guess, there in the long run, but looks pretty good for them. Speaking of, that's like right on cue, man. They just jump on a lead. What is that, a 7th death? 8th death? Oh, I'm sorry, I underrated it. No, Melon's having a struggle right here, to say the very least. Meanwhile, he gets thrown into the spikes there, gets the stun as a result, but Moo will be fine, as he has that team support nearby. But you can just tell, EG's just on full active mode right now. This lineup is perfect for that. Z-Freak, the ship comes out, he gets pushed forward, though. Not where he wants to be. He, too, is going to fall. It just is not stopping. And this is that train that just left home, and it ain't coming back. As everyone just looks back and only just waving to everyone. I don't know, I'm going on with that. Anyways, they're going to push this middle tower. Sometimes you get caught just saying things, you try to make it work, and it just doesn't, you know? Yeah, something like that. But I guess the ultimate point here is that Complexity just feels like now the the window's kind of shutting for them. I mean, where's their game plan? They're now down 15-9 hero kills. That net worth is the highest it's been, over 4,000. What do they need to do? Just really recovering Slark here on farm? Is that basically it?
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. Well, they do get... Oh, no, that's Kunkka dying. Never mind. Kunkka wasn't going to play, but never mind. Nyx Assassin picks him off. It looks like I was watching them push the bottom tower in the meantime, but that's just, yeah, running into the Nyx right there. I'm guessing Lifestealer also a part of that, and yeah, it looks like that Infest on cooldown now, so... Camera issues kicking in, but Kunkka gets killed, and now into the Roshan pit we go. Should be an easy Aegis here for evil geniuses. I don't think Complexity going to be even too interested, even if they know. And it looks like they do. They do got a little bit of vision down here. Look, you see the Observer Ward nearby. They also have a trap in the area, but understandably, I think EG is, or excuse me, Complexity is choosing not to defend this. Not really the firepower to do so. Yeah, I mean, coL was there a little bit earlier than maybe it should have been when the team was finishing off Roshan, so they take advantage of that at least. Get him picked, so a little bit of a present. Complexity, but here goes Universe. Vendetta and the Lifestealer inside him. Who's that target going to be? OTA, no, he blinks away. They're just pinging. I mean, they know something's up, and yeah, they're going to actually fall back enough right now. Oh, the courier. Yep, he'll get the courier. Nothing on it, but still.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is falling.
What is that? Yeah, 1-9-4. Not a pretty game. Nyx Assassin. It's obviously, you know, I'm not saying if he was another hero this game would be completely different, but when you pick a hero like Luna, Lena, excuse me, it does feel like that it better do fairly well, or else people are going to really kind of question that as far as the draft goes. I mean, do you feel that way, or do you think the Lena is just a fine pick? It just happens to not be doing well here. Yeah, Invoker actually getting pulled here at the top lane meanwhile, so Complexity, they're going to get the Aegis burn, but now Lifestealer running in, open wounds applied to Slark. Are they going to chase this? It looks like they want to. Invoker in pursuit as well. Another pounce away. Does have more support coming. Nyx running in with that Vendetta. The ship's going to be used by Z-Freak. It will miss, unfortunately. Of course, he gets the buff from that still, but he's definitely in trouble. Goes for the TP. That ain't going to work, though. And he will be taken out. So they do eventually at least get Kunkka there.
Yeah. Good. Nice cleanup kill. He has the Desto now, so gonna have a lot more damage, but whoa, what the heck?
Well, he just relocated the Nyx down here actually with that Infest Palm, and now Swinimals again. Oh no, he's in trouble. A couple of hits later, he will die. TA trying to make a play. We'll get the play on a coL there as he takes him out. But now Moo's in trouble. Batrider got about 10% of his life. Lifestealer and being pulled in actually. We'll get taken out. So well played right there for a turn kill. Now Nyx Assassin, he's not going to hang around to try for anything else. Sumail will also fall back rather than trying to commit to something there. So Complexity, they kill Lifestealer. Nice little comeback in the works here, perhaps.
Yep, getting the Shadow Blade, the TA getting Desto, and you know, showing how good TA is versus Lifestealer. Lifestealer has no way really to kill the TA. The Refraction just sort of owning the hero, blocks all of his rage attacks, and then Desto just shredding the Lifestealer with his super low armor.
Oh, can he kill the Invoker right here? Oh, he does have a double damage. Is it enough damage? Yes, it is. But at what cost? He's in trouble now. Pops the Shadow Dance, but TA jumps in as well. Now Spike's Carapace trying to keep Nyx alive. Maybe gets that turn kill. Still ain't gonna happen, but Rubik will finally come in and clean him up. So they do take out Slark right there, but he did kill the both the Nyx as well as the Invoker prior to that. So again, I still think definitely a fair trade for the Slark.
Getting like 1,300 gold from those 2 kills, so from getting his Lothar just a couple minutes ago, now already has the Echo Saber, so actually on a reasonable timing drain, only around 1k behind the Lifestealer, who's had an amazing game. The TA doing really well, almost a BKB now after this couple of kills bottom, farming out this this bot lane area several times. This is actually quite farmed, so Complexity after the rough early start, getting a few pickup kills here and there, the lucky DD on the Slark letting him get those 2 kills, and now being in a considerably better position. The Invoker really far behind.
You say lucky, I say planned. You know, he went there expecting that double damage and it happened to be there, so well played by JK. So yeah, but the Echo Saber pickup now, so again, all of a sudden signs of life for Complexity once again, has to feel pretty good. And the other significant items coming out, looks like a BKB on Bat Rider to follow his earlier build here of the Blink Dagger and the drums. You like the BKB choice, or no Force Staff here or anything like that?
I think the BKB is good. It makes it so the Lifestealer can't really get onto him in fights. He can only jump on him with the with the Nyx Assassin and burst him. So if the EG doesn't get the initial jump, once they have these BKBs out, Complexity can take these fights quite easily because with their BKBs, they have no way to get on top of them.
Jump over here, Dark Pack popped as well. Sameldo thrown in the air. He's going to be fine for the time being. It looks like using that Ghost Walk will be fine for now once again. Crit though in the background. He's not so fine. Dropping about a third of his life before getting the support he needs to be fine for now. But they do take out Lifestealer in the midst of it, actually. Other explosions all over the place. A 1-for-0 so far. And you see Samel in the background. He's just continuing to run. Does have that Yule Scepter coming back up in 1 second. Has ability to use it if need be. There we go. Going to. X marks the spot, not pulling him back as a result. And a nice pushback with the blinding light from coL on top of that. But again, number-wise, Complexity taking out Lifestealer, a 1-for-0 in that fight. Another case of coming out on top there.
Yeah, Nyx actually missing the stun just barely, so I think it was aimed at the TA, so letting her get away just a tad, missed it at the beginning of the fight, so without that stun, they really don't have a way to lock heroes down, and sort of biting them in the end.
That Yule Scepter, Samel on top of it with the X-Marks to spot, but it's not gonna matter, the damage is real, Lina especially assisting, Laguna Blade not even needed there actually, that's just simply a burst for the Q and the W. And secures the kill onto Invoker. So these pickoffs are happening in Complexity. Again, this is game number 1 of this best-of-3 series. And you take a look at the charts as well. I mean, that kind of tells the story if you weren't aware already. I mean, the comeback is most certainly real here for Complexity. And the experience lead over 5,000 experience lead now in their favor as well. I mean, so now we can start having the conversation. You're looking at these lineups here as far as we adjust more to the mid game and eventually the late game. I mean, does Complexity... Are they going to be feared in the later game, you feel, as TA? Uh-oh. Well, so much for that momentum and Complexity. They finally get a pick off there.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to who gets the initiation and vision. Complexity has one of the best nighttime fighters in the game, and the Slark has the full nighttime vision, so definitely has an advantage there with the Nyx Assassin. You know, and Invis Hero obviously really good for scouting. So whoever can get the jump in these fights will probably come out on top. EG needing to jump more than Complexity does. Complexity has the luxury to just sort of run into these fights with the Bat Rider, with the Kunkka X's, Slark Lothars, and just initiating that way. But EG needs that initial pick off with the Nyx ganks, you know, getting the TA there, showing it off. If they don't get that, then they don't really have a way to lock onto people. Need that initial kill and then be able to take the fight from there afterwards.
Ooh, they're gonna smoke on through right here in the middle lane. Don't know if they responded or not, but I don't think they were, in fact. And Lifestealer jumping inside the Nyx. And they're in pursuit. You see drawing the circle around. Lina, uh-oh. Lina again, the one that may end up falling victim to this. She puts the sentry down, but there's the easy jump, and Sunstrike not even necessary. They get the kill prior. And you know, I guess if you're Complexity though, and with how much that roamed them, and they use the smoke, they're all sticking together, spending all that time. Losing Lena, who's now died 11 times, not really the biggest deal. Your Complexity, so.
Yeah, it's definitely the hero you wouldn't mind the most if they get picked off, but the coL having the Ags now as well, so going back to that vision game, EG much stronger in the daytime now with the Nyx scouting around the Ags gem, so no real way at all for Slark to get on top of these heroes in the daytime. So I think Complexity is just going to farm for the next couple of minutes till 28 whenever it goes back to nighttime, then maybe they can think about going for a fight, but in the daytime like this, there's just no way for the Slark to enter these fights without just getting mana leads, forced to Dark Pack, maybe ults. And then after that, he's just not really a useful hero as he's too easy to take down.
A lot of sticking together here from EG coming out. You can see it in their own jungle even, so they're definitely feeling fearful at this point of the game, you know, waiting for kind of a reset of cooldowns here, the Vendetta especially. Looks like they're counter-wording. You mentioned that vision coming out of coL now with that ag, so taking advantage there. With the aggressive counter warding coming out. But you take a look at the vision for complexity right now, especially losing those wards. So, and going back to being fairly dark for them once again. They do have these traps throughout, but other than that, not a whole lot. But same thing really for EG side. Not like they're much better. So, a lot of darkness again. So, you're getting at there as far as on the map overall. There's an Assault Curious onto Lifestealer here. I just finished that to go with the Desolator, so the minus armor is real. And are they going to be smoking again? No, doesn't look like it. Just jumping inside.
Yeah, the AC pretty huge pickup. The TA doesn't do very much damage versus Lifestealer anymore. So even if the Lifestealer gets sort of stranded, it doesn't have the same level of burst damage versus him. So fights make it a little bit better for them.
No, pops the Dark Pack just in case. So yeah, know something's up. Obviously, the traps helping to give them that information right here. Next assassin playing it very, very careful. Not gonna overcommit. Of course, knows that Bat Rider does have the gem on him, or at least suspicious if not. And smoke being delivered now to complexity. Meanwhile, looks like Lena just purchasing one. We'll see if they maybe go for a play themselves, but they are going to push this bottom tower. Top to still be up. University Impale open though. There's the Sunstrike on top of Cancel. He's going to be fine for the top time being. Pops the BKB, turns on Arteezy now. The ship coming out. Well, they can pull back in though. He's going to end up getting taken out. Does the TA, but Arteezy now much better. He goes down on the Lifestealer. Rubik also picked off. coL trying to stay alive. Stuck right there, but he finally starting to run away. Moo, meanwhile, he goes down in the background. To Universe looks like a buyback on Rubik actually. Helping to get some turn kills. Now Swindle's gonna fall. And the chase is on to JK right here, but he's still got some life and some damage to work with. Pounces in. Is gonna pop that Shadow Blade though. Goes for the run. Gets lifted up though, and that should do it for him. The Yule Scepter, and there's the combo to secure the kill. Triple kill coming out for Universe when it's all said and done. I believe the only buyback on a Rubik too. Wow, big turn there for EG.
Yeah, they also got the Batrider's gem, so that may be the biggest part of the fights. Now, gonna be able to take back the vision of the map. Also, this crucial nighttime phase, they're all dead. They're gonna have to push out their lanes whenever they spawn. So by the time they're ready to do something, there's not gonna be much nighttime left. So EG in a really good spot after that fight. The Lifestealer going on the TA in that fight, just one hit away from breaking his refraction. So the Sunstrike missing and able to get his BKB off with the and then pop his refraction immediately after having refraction and BKB up, and the Lifestealer's rage wearing off just before the boat hit. If that hadn't happened, this fight would have been even more in favor of EG. 4 wards of EG dying, so decent for complexity, but they're going to get the Roche and have some serious map control after that. So overall, definitely heavily EG favored fight.
How do you say Assault Curious?
Assault Cuirass.
Assault Cuirass?
Cuirass? Is that I don't know what's correct.
See, I don't even know, but it's one of those. I think it might be more Assault Cuirass. I've always called it Assault Curious. I guess not Curious, but Assault Curious. Anyways, jump here initiation as they lasso in on Invoker, the combo from Kunkka to follow, and down goes the Invoker. The X marks the spot here onto Universe, but the Yule Scepter yet again, they're doing a good job with that. When TH up to the back on him, first down. The Rubik Arteezy with that rage up though, sitting on JK, but he pops a Shadow Dance now, and all of a sudden Arteezy, the one that's running, he invests into his teammate, only to have him die shortly after, and then bounce forward from JK. Arteezy, he's in trouble, he's gonna fall, has that Aegis on him. Can they kill him after the fact? Meanwhile, they do get the pick over there onto Zion playing that coL, and Arteezy, the rage pop with the TP. He will survive, but a 4 for nothing. Oh my god, for complexity right there. Basically a 5 for nothing if you count the Aegis kill as well. How on earth did that take place?
Yeah, they all just sort of ran to the middle of the river, and the Rubik die initially to the boat. T getting most of the heroes getting the rum on them as well, so Lifestealer trying to kill some heroes, but the Slark popping his ult, and just sort of resetting the fight like that. The Invoker ran right into the middle of the thing, got 3-shot by the TA, didn't really get any spells off. the Nyx Assassin wasted his Yules because the Kunkka X'd him and then didn't torrent, so popping the Yules and then still having torrent afterwards, it just sort of ran into the river and got kited by all the complexities, short cooldown spells, the X, the Napalm, sort of kited around and burst.
Taking a look at some item progression. Oh, the bottom tower does go down. TA is actually caught here by the Yules Scepter. Pops the BKB though, and he's doing plenty of damage in return. The stun on a Universe. He will eventually burn due to that Firefly right there of Moo, and the chase continues on the crit now. I don't know if he's getting away from this one. The Blinding Light attempted to assist with that, but it ain't gonna happen. The Ice Wall is down, Moo. He feels the pain from that. The open wounds on top of that. He does get taken out himself. And now TA, he's disarmed actually, and stunned as well. The Refraction eventually wearing off right there. And he gets, well, he's able to blink dagger away actually for now. But Lina, meanwhile, does get picked up. We're at it though. Kunkka, he's on the run, Z-Freak. Looks like he's got the distance, but the chase, the tornado in the air. And here comes the Lifestealer to ideally try to finish the job, and will do so. So at least they get Kunkka on the end of it as well. But another just clash here really just outside of the base. We're just both teams insisting on going at it here. These big fights.
Yeah, it's they sort of just overextended a little bit. The TA running out of mana, getting mana leaked a couple of times, his BKB down because he used it earlier to kill Universe. So running out of mana, no more refraction charges, and just barely slipping away. They didn't realize his blink did get cancelled, so he was able to blink away with 0 mana and only like 700 HP or something. So it could have been a lot worse for complexity, but just barely slipping away with the blink dagger, not getting it cancelled. But a big thing about this game is the TA goes Diffusal now, so this is like one of TA's biggest power spikes. She has the BKB, she has the Diffusal, but as this game goes longer and she uses BKB more and more, this Invoker is going to become very good versus the TA. In the early stages of the game, it's a TA favored like matchup in the game, but as it goes later, the Deafening Blast in the circular, basically the Ravage Deafening Blast becomes super good versus the TA when her BKB's down, and sort of makes her almost a useless hero in the late game.
Oh, Moo jumping in on the background, another fight taking place. Guess what else is new? Catches Invoker with that lasso, finally gets the Yules Scepter off for the time being. Is it going to be enough in the long run? It absolutely is not. JK, the BKB himself. Meanwhile, double stun right there on the Lifestealer, as well as Nyx. That was a huge torrent, as well as a ship coming out from Z-Freak yet again. Feels like he's saying that often, but he does it so many times. Size could get picked as well. And a 4-for-1. They did lose TA back here, but obviously coming at a massive cost. The Silver Edge also just picked up prior to that fight by Slark as well, no doubt doing some work throughout it. Look at Complexity. They're just going downhill right here. Lifestealer, the only one with a buyback. They're probably going to get racks here.
Yeah, the TA is dead, so no deaths though, so only the Slark really is going to do damage to buildings, but having 14 shift stacks, so they may actually be able to get a Rax, like you said. It just keeps getting blown up at the beginning of these fights, not really getting any spells off. All he did that fight was Yules himself, and you know, maybe Alacrity somebody, but that was about all. So not really having the kind of impact you want to see from Invoker, and Complexity just like really focusing on every fight, always getting last with the Slark finding him in fights, getting X'd, forcing him to defensive Yule, and you know, just not really able to get enough spells off.
Craig getting a little too close right there. He ends up going down, so a little bit of a misplay. It's one of those cases, it's like, what are you really going to accomplish there? And dying is pretty much the worst case scenario. So hey, he's dead for another 30 seconds. But hey, in the end, they do get the racks anyways. And Complexity will now fall back, go retreat mode, and kind of recoup and regenerate here. So yeah, TA does back up as mentioned, and talked about the Diffuser Blade got prior to that here. But yeah, so it sounded like as that fight was kind of breaking out, you do like the idea of Sumail here on the Invoker becoming more and more useful now. It's going to be scaling better, I guess, as this game continues on. I mean, we're down to 6 seconds now on that BKB of cancel here. So it's level 23, right? The AoE last year.
Yes, it's level 23.
Blast? Okay. So gets to that, and that's going to be the key mark here.
Yeah, this game has sort of gotten into a weird place. Originally, EG was the one that wanted quick fights. They wanted to burst a couple of heroes, be able to kill them, and then, you know, take it right from there because the coL had started getting fresh BKBs, but now their BKBs are starting getting lower on the timers. EG is starting to want to favor like longer fights more. They have a lot of Nyx Assassin mana burns. They can get out the Invoke, get out a lot of spells. Complexity is the one looking for the short fights, so wanting to kill people inside the lasso, the TA being able to get as many kills as she can during the BKB, because whenever all their BKBs are down, the lasso is down, they can get kited by the Invoker spells, lots of mana burns, carapaces, and the cuddle just throwing out blinding light after blinding light because of this Agnum Scepter and the permanent ulti. So, sort of like how they want to take the fights and play the game has sort of switched as the game has gone on.
Actually curious about your thoughts here on the choice by Nyx. It's been a while now, of course, and he is trying to finish it here, but the fact that he chose to go that Yules over the Ags instead as priority, do you think that's kind of, you know, biting him in the ass here, or is it fine going the Yules first?
I think it's something you have to go versus the Kunkka. It super counters that hero, as it, you know, just makes him miss his whole combo and sort of neutralizes him. Yule is also nice versus the, like, it helps them kite a little bit better. And yeah, basically just versus the Kunkka, it's sort of a necessity, or the snakes will just get controlled super easily with no, like, he's obviously not a BKB buyer, so you typically need either one of those two items versus the Kunkka, or you're just too easy to kill as a core.
Well, bottom tower push, that's a massive creep wave, and that's an easy tower kill down here. Is that the last? No, there's still a middle tower. It's, well, 6 life on this secondary middle tower here, or complexity, so might as well be dead kind of deal. So, but EG, they're not going to break through just yet. They're not sure exactly where complexity is. They don't have the greatest vision on them right now, so yeah, they're just going to get the hell on out of here, as complexity was falling back, as we see, ready to defend here. So, good job by EG having the heads up, but of course down to one set of racks. Are playing from behind that Axe Scepter. 1 item away now for Universe here, about 1,000 gold before he will have that picked up, which again, kind of going to be a key item. Level 19 Invoker, so still a little bit of time before he hits that kind of max peak at level 23. With the AoE Deafening Blast. And Universe running in right here. He's going to open on to Lena. Not going to get the kill initially, but the Sunstrike will secure that. But now, is it going to come at a cost? We'll find out. Cancel. It's pulled. What was that about? Just going right there. Meanwhile, the Spike Carapace is going to be used. Cancel, though, insisting on chasing one more auto attack into it. Yes, they did going to get a lasso on Life Shield as well. Next to him, allowing for the Templar to still provide some good damage. JK. He has his BKB pop, but he's getting the hell on out of there. Looks like it ends up being a 1-for-1 there. At the Chaos.
Yeah, the Nyx blinking right after he hit the ground from the Yules, and then X immediately back, so almost lived there, and then sort of just blinking back and forth, getting X some like weird shenanigans that made the fight play out kind of odd, but like we saw, once their BKBs are out, Complexity just sort of has to run, and 5 seconds down on the TA and 7 on Slark, so slowly ticking down and down the Invoker with the Lincolns now, so not as easy for them to kill him at the beginning of these fights anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There's that Lincoln's officially purchased here by the Invoker. So, play a case of Complexity, wanting to really get the damage done while they still have a hefty lead here at this point. You see the Eye of Scotty picked up by Slark meanwhile. Nice mix of items, survivability, as well as the less of a kite factor, of course. As Regen Rune picked up down here by Arteezy, not a big deal necessarily. But Skull Basher is on him. Or moving forward as well, some more of a damage threat. So, just overall, looking at the items, nothing else standing out too much here.
Yeah, that the Scotty is gonna do a whole lot of work. Also, super good versus the Nyx Assassin. They have a lot of heroes that just sort of like want to run away. Not really too many mobility spells, other than like the, you know, you can do the Yule's blink thing, but you can always just time your Dark Pack so right whenever they land, they get hit by it. And the Scotty is just really good versus a Lifestealer, a hero that's not particularly fast, needs the phase boots to get around, doesn't ever buy a blink dagger or anything like that, and requires some other heroes to move him around. So if he can lock onto somebody with the Scotty, things can get pretty grim for EG.
Yeah. Complexity. They actually looking to push through right here, trying to break into the base. I mean, we're probably, I was going to say, we're probably going to be having another Roshan, and sure enough, EG is over there doing it. And I got to say, Complexity, yeah, they have no clue, and that's going to be an easy Aegis for EG. You would think that they would want to defend that if you're Complexity there. Where is it not to? So that was a nice steal, really, from Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, it was really nice realizing what they need to do to get back into this game from EG. You can see, like, for the last several minutes, they've been playing around this bottom lane where coL has held this top side of the map, farming the dire jungle, and just, you know, holding this control of, you know, constantly pushing out the bottom lane as far as they can, getting this mid lane out by Smell, like, spamming tornadoes and stuff, setting the forward spirits down. So they do have control of this lane, and not so easy for Complexity to realize whether they're just farming the jungle or they're doing Roshan, they're doing Ancients, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So EG just like holding like the correct portion of the map and getting that roast versus a TA lineup. TA in this part of the game really needs Aegis, either that or good initiations and like quick favorable fights, because as the game goes longer and longer, TA not a very good scaling core compared to other heroes, like the Invoker.
So the movement down here from EG at the bottom, the smoke being used to get all the way down here. Pings on a JK, but there's the eventual opening. No, not gonna happen. They get the mana burn though on a TA. Obviously left Whaley without none. Last one in the background of the life stealers. The ship comes through from Kunkka, but Arteeza kind of in the midst of it. There's a ship coming through for Kunkka. That was the Rubik actually. Using his ship, of course, going from the right to left. Should have figured that one. I don't know what that was about, but the ships collide and they end up getting the Aegis used on top of that. So, fight so far for complexity. Can they hold in the long run, though, is the question.
Yeah, they're realizing that all their BKBs are down and gonna punish them, force them to take a fight on EG's terms. The Nyx missing the stun at the beginning of the fight actually cost them the kill and cancel, so a hard stun to hit, but just barely missed.
RTZ just feeling confident in those front lines, has that rage up currently, putting some good damage into the melee racks. The regen coming out, the creeps are coming though. Will help with that stun on the Lifestealer. TA putting some damage in, gets pushed further with a blinding light. And now he's in a bad spot actually, gets forced that forward even further. RTZ in the background. Put damage on the JK. Another ship coming out though from Kunkka, excuse me. As the Batrider was picked off, he does buy back though pretty much instantly. He also has another lasso ready to go. So we'll see if Batrider can find that opportunity right now. Trap in the front grounds. JK standing strong up here as well. Does pop that shadow dance. They get the kill to Lifestealer. And now some mountain trouble. He'll get bursted down. They'll get a blade coming out as well to assist with that, I believe. Crit, meanwhile, trying to hold his ground. Has Nyx Assassin and coL to support. Is that going to be enough, though? I don't know. Z-Freak. One more auto attack. Yes, he actually does get him killed. And Batrider has to fly the hell out of there. But now Rubik in trouble as JK turns onto him and eventually takes him out. Triple kill for Justin here. And coL getting creep locked a little bit. That could do him in. As Batrider is going to chase. Flame Break pushing backwards. Batrider though. Now he takes the impale stun. Nyx says I might as well burst you down if you're going to jump in here like that. Ain't going to happen though. coL gets picked off, and now Lifestealer's back into the fight. So we're just keep on going here. Arteezy though, using the cheese. Is it going to be enough? Absolutely not. He ends up going down. Did take out Lina. Not what you want though. In complexity, the long story short, they hold at the bottom lane.
Yeah, EG wanting these long fights sort of turned back the other way as Slark wants long fights as well, and so it going a little bit too long. The BKB's coming back up, TA going in and making the waste of time. There was a period where the creeps weren't there, the wave was a little far away, and so the backdoor protection set in, so they weren't actually able to get the racks. And the Slark getting like 52 stacks at the peak of that fight, so just absolutely shredding everyone. And the Lifestealer bought back for that, so complexity, be able to get mega creeps here.
Bought back, used the cheese, used the Aegis. I mean, Lifestealer was all in over and over again on that fight, and you can almost say essentially died 3 times if you include the cheese even. So, yeah, hell of a fight for complexity, and now they're breaking through the bottom. You do see EG has a couple players back up. coL resurrecting in a couple seconds right here, but Lifestealer's not going to be up for 25, and that's an easy melee rack skill as a result. And complexity doing their best to get back, and it looks like they will successfully. So, mission accomplished yet again for complexity. Again, guys, this is game number 1 in this best of 3, and right now complexity in the spot to go up 1-0 in the series. Pending a hold some way somehow from EG. It's not going to help things though. Slark jumps in on a crit. 5 or 6 auto attacks later. Gets the kill. He bounced pretty far to get on this. Pops a shadow dance. There's a dark pact. He's running no more mana left for him though. The Sunstrike does connect as it's stun as well for the spiking care hits. But in comes the shift now. The short on top, and now complexity support is here. And they're turning big time. Lifestealer yet again locked down with that lasso. He will infest and be fine for the time being. I see the Burrow from Universe throughout that to help keep him alive. So Invoker, or Rubik, excuse me, the only one dying there, but it's just keep on going for complexity. So EG, their time is nearly ran out, it feels like.
Yeah, they don't really have a way to kill the Slark anymore. He has so much armor. He, with the AC and the Vlads they have, so up to like 30 armor. 3k HP, has the BKB, the Dark Pact, and the ults. It's just super hard for them to kill him. Not a lot of burst damage on EG either. The Nyx, not amazing versus Slark. Yeah. Things looking pretty grim for them.
Obviously, they're not giving in. They are holding 5,600 gold on Invoker. Again, he's level 21 as well, so not at that level 23 just yet. I mean, is there something that Invoker could buy here maybe that he should be, you think? Or is it just not really worth it? Obviously, buyback is important too, but... Oh, they're jumping in. Yeah, here we go. The Bat Ride initiates with the last of the ship in the background. Connects on it too with that torrent. Again, Z-Freak on top of both Universe and Coddle getting caught. I believe Universe will end up going down. You see the life just melting on the side of EG. Arteezy in the background trying to finish off Cancel. He'll successfully do that, but it comes at a cost for his life right there. Buyback on to TA though. And he's going to be looking to come right back into the fight. Has those bots on him now. Porting back in and looking to actually finish the job here in game number 1 for Complexity. JK just sitting on the racks. You got Kunk on the front lines with Cancel who came back in. I think those GGs are coming out any second now from EG.
Yeah, Complexity, initially being thought the underdogs going into this match, playing quite well. EG a little bit sloppy, taking some goofy fights, and Complexity able to get back into this game. Whoa.
Is Cancel dead? Oh my god, he actually is. Well, a little bit of something there from EG as they actually get Cancel picked up. A little too much of a dive. Did a good job of controlling the character for him. But yeah, we are in mega creeps here, so I think Complexity is just fine with whatever really happens. I mean, TA is dead for 100 seconds, but not shouldn't be the biggest deal, I would think. So now kind of like doing the hindsight analyzing here, Quinn. I mean, the draft, I mean, was a TA? Did that prove to be the strong pick? I mean, where do you think things went right here for Complexity?
I mean, they just sort of did what they needed to do. They cut losses. This early game, you know, obviously the Slark didn't have a great time, but Sumail's making some like pretty large early game mistakes. Let this TA get to a place where she could be the space maker for the Slark while he caught up, got a Shadow Blade that took some good fights.
Yeah.
And the game just sort of like went well for them for there. A lot of really great torrents by Z-Freak. And you know, just like overall good team play in these fights, but EG not out of it yet. They're gonna try and end. Slark actually no buyback for 60 seconds, and TA no buyback period. So maybe some crazy stuff gonna happen.
I was about to say, I really hope I don't eat my words right here. Here I am, kind of almost doing a post game, you know, wrap up, and sure enough, yeah, the no buybacks. You mentioned Slark to over 70 here, TA for another 25. I mean, they should be able to at least get a Rax right here. But again, only getting 1 Rax, and they are dealing with mega creeps. I don't know if that is going to prove to be enough, but they're going to try. And you definitely can't blame them here. Arteezy, they're going right for it. Right for the tier 4 even. They don't even give a crap right here. So they're just massively pushing with a death ball. 45 seconds still on Slark, so he's not going to be back up. There's the buyback. He just got enough for the buyback, actually. And all of a sudden, everything changes. Life Stealer goes down. Down goes the Nyx. And here goes Complexity full force, just taking out EG. They get the kill on the coDle. There you see the buyback on a Nyx Assassin, but finally the GG's come out. And game 1 will go to Complexity here against EG. So valiant effort from EG, definitely to kind of start coming back. But Complexity, how about that? They take game number 1 here in this series.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Justin not dying in that early game, except for, you know, the one time later on died to a Nyx gank. But overall, everybody cutting their